Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This is Hani Ismail from Planning Engineer website. In this lesson, we are going to discuss the communication management. Communication management is very important part in project management. As a project manager, you should analyze your stakeholders. Hani, why you mention as a project manager? You didn't mention as a construction manager or site engineer. Remember, we are basing our course project management fundamentals based on PMI or Project Management Institute. So Project Management Institute or PMI will talk always from a project manager point of view. So don't make this word as a project manager to confuse you. We are just following the PMI standards. So as a project manager, you should analyze your stakeholders' communication need. What type of information do the stakeholders expect from you? What level of details they are interested in? And this is very important. One size fits all doesn't work. You need to have a specific reports for specific people. So if you are sending a report to a senior manager, don't put too much details on it. While if you are creating a report for a site engineer or maybe even a foreman, you need to give him only the details he is interested in. Also, from a communication point of view, you need to know how often do you need to hear or to send for your stakeholders, and what is the best communication channel or type for each stakeholder. So this is the backbone of the communication management. Let's make it simple. For example, if we have a kickoff meeting, the communication method will be face-to-face. Stakeholders will be the key stakeholder in the project. The frequency of the kickoff meeting will be once. This will be done in every project or maybe every phase. The owner of the meeting, normally the project manager. If we have a project team meeting, it could be face-to-face, or it could be Zoom meeting or Teams meeting. The stakeholders are the project teams. Frequency, this is as needed. So maybe it is weekly or monthly or whatever. The weekly progress meeting could be a Zoom meeting or could be face-to-face. The stakeholders now, it is more specific that we need project manager, planning engineer, consultant, construction manager. You can be more specific to have it every Monday, for example. This is how you can create a communication plan for your stakeholders. But what are the types of communication? We have here two types, based on communication channel and based on style. For communication channel, you have verbal and non-verbal. Verbal may be oral or written. The oral may be face-to-face or distance. Oral mean by voice, written mean by words. But what could be the non-verbal communication? This could be the body language. You are smiling in front of your colleague face. You have some expressions in your face, your body language. This is what so-called non-verbal communications. If we talk about the type of communication based on style and purpose, we have formal and informal. So, for example, the formal communication could be reports, meetings, presentations. Informal communication could be emails, social media, texting, company website. Well, maybe the emails in some project consider formal, but it is according to your project condition. The verbal communication using words and voices. Non-verbal communication using body language and action. After analyzing the communication need, you should engage with the stakeholder with the best communication methods. We have interactive, we have push, and we have pull. Push communication is normally sending information. It is one-way communication with your individual stakeholders. Push communication prevents the ability of immediately estimate reaction and assess understanding. So you can send email, report, voicemail, and so on. While pull communication is providing information. Providing information means what? You're going to the internet, check the policies or templates or do internet research or using data found online. Pulling information is used for the indirect detection of stakeholder concerns. And definitely the interactive communication is meetings where you have two-way of communication. And here I find some project manager confusing between the type of communication. If you have some experience in construction projects where you have a meeting and you try to say your opinion. You say, no, you don't need to talk, you just need to listen. So this is wrong communication channel. Since you called it a meeting, it means it is a two-way communication. It means I can comment whatever you are saying. If you'd like to push information for me, you could send a letter or memo or something like this, if you don't want to have an interactive meeting between you and the project team. So this is the communication management in short. Now let's talk a little bit about managing conflicts. Conflicts is common on projects. Conflict can be healthy and productive when handled well. Fear of conflict can restrict communication and creativity. However, conflict can be unhealthy as well. Addressing conflict is very essential. Therefore, experts agreed on 6 methods to manage conflicts in projects. Conflict, it means two parties are not in agreement for something. So, in order to resolve this conflict, you might choose one of these 6 methods. Problem solving, collaborating, compromising, smoothing, forcing, withdrawing, or avoiding. Let's have a look about each style of this one. Problem solving is facing the conflict as a problem to be solved. This style of conflict resolution is used when the relationship between parties is important and when each person has confidence in the other party's ability to problem solving. These are project management terms according to Bimbook. So I don't want to simplify because this course you are studying right now is a very good step for your PMP certificate. So I would like to give you some terms from Bimbook in order for you to enhance and get your PMP certificate if you would like to. So collaborating involved in cooperation, multiple views about the conflict. The objective is to learn about the various views and see things from multiple perspectives. This is an effective method when there is a trust among participants and when there are time to come to the solution. The project manager may facilitate this type of conflict resolution between project team members. If you have a conflict between two of your team members, you should collaborate and solve the problem. But if you have a problem between you and your client, you should try to solve the problem. Okay. Compromising, there are some conflict in which all parties will not be fully satisfied. In those cases, finding a way to compromise is the best approach. Compromise required a willing to give and take. This allows all parties to get something that they want and it is avoid escalating the conflict. This style is often used when the parties involved have equal power. Okay, smoothing is the target of understanding that the project goal is more important than the disagreement. This approach is used when there is a differences in the relative authority or power of the individuals. For example, this approach may be appropriate when there is a disagreement with the sponsor. Since the sponsor outranks the project manager or project member and there is a desire to maintain a good relationship with the sponsor, so we accept the conflict with the sponsor if it is not contradicting to our contract. We are not giving a gold plate, we are not giving something free of charge. Maybe he insists to have the tiles installing in this way and you think it should be installed in another way. Okay, if it is not going to harm your company, you can smoothly accept this conflict. Forcing is used when there is no enough time to collaborate or problem solve. In this scenario, one party forces the other with the solution. The party forcing has more power than the other party. A forcing style may be used if there is a health and safety conflict that needs to be resolved immediately. For example, you find your team is constructing a scaffolding in a way you see it is dangerous. There is no time to discuss with them this conflict. You forcing them to stop the work immediately and take an action. Withdrawal or avoiding. Sometimes a problem will go away on its own, or sometimes discussion gets heated and people need a cooling off period. In both scenarios, withdrawing from the situation is the correct way. So withdrawal is also used in non-win scenarios, such as comply with a requirement imposed by agency or authority instead of it challenging the requirement. So this video was giving you a very high level about the communication and conflict management. I hope you find it useful to you. See you in the next one.